What's up, guys? Jamie Chaos here, and I've been waiting to do my Ashes of Creation review. I wanted to wait until we got past phase 1 so that newness would fall off, and to see where things were and where they're headed once we got into the new phase. And to be honest, phase 2 has felt like kind of a shit show. Server stability doesn't feel great. The team went on vacation to kind of leave the players to vibe for themselves, which has also caused a shit ton of toxicity, blatant harassment, like just a lot of verbal abuse, things that in any other game would have been shut down immediately. And I get it. Some people are going to say you're crybaby or whatever. I don't give a fuck about myself when it comes to that. Like, I'll be honest, I fucking dropped Mirrorlith because I was so fucking tired of seeing the shit talking. It just gets fucking exhausting because I'm not a fucking 12-year-old. But the thing is, like, there are so many new people that came in from phase 2 that that's their first experience. And it kind of pisses me off that we have these guilds that have no problem exploiting and no problem hunting down, low-level characters, people just getting their feet wet, don't really know what they're doing. And the reason that pisses me off is that it affects the health of the long-term tests. So for a lot of people that are unaware, when we were in the NDA testing, a lot of people would come in excited, right? And maybe you'd have like 3,000 people show up one day. By the end of the test, there's like 300 people left being active. Like, that was a very steep climb because, one, it's an alpha test. Like, it's not a game and it's fucking boring. All we get to do is grind. And like I said, like, the desert's not finished. The tropics aren't finished. None of the quests, hardly any of the quests barely fucking work. And the only fun part about the game currently is being in a guild, running the content with some people that you enjoy being around, and some of the player drama that comes out of it. Other than that, there really isn't much in the game. Things are super unbalanced. Overall, it is very bare bones. I don't know how to sugarcoat this, but I'm not going to say it feels like a regression, but it feels like it feels like an alpha 1, guys. And if you'd asked me in phase 1 if I thought that you should buy in, my answer would have been yes. For phase 2, no. Don't buy in because you're going to lose interest. You're not going to want to grind to 25 for the 100th fucking time. Like, it gets repetitive. It gets boring. I'm really here now to just give feedback and to find bugs. I wouldn't say that the game is extremely enjoyable. I say it's mind-numbingly repetitive. Mind-numbingly repetitive. The whole loop right now is you can either go grind materials and use a half-functioning crafting system, or you can go grind mobs with half-functioning AI. And the thing that feels the worst is that people are openly exploiting, streaming the exploits, call to actions for exploits, and you watch these guys stand there not taking any fucking damage from the mobs, and you just think to yourself, why the fuck am I making this so much harder on myself when I could do the same fucking thing and just get to level 25 within like 2 days, rather than, man, I've got to go through this grind spot, I've got to find this, I got to find this right group composition. And it gets frustrating. And that's not to say I've lost faith in the game, but expectations have to be managed like bad. We have the 2 new races. They're pretty cool. Character creator still kind of in the same state. Very, very, very basic. Sand Squall Desert got more nodes in it. They are just copy paste of either the Winstead node or the Mirrorlith node. Is literally just a copy paste with desert paint. And it's just not that compelling, man. I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying to care. But my same feedback is still the same feedback that I've had. The same bugs I'm finding are still the same bugs. And it's not to say Intrepid's not working on them, right? It's not to say Intrepid's not working on it. They are. But for the average player, don't back this. Not until there's more content. Like, there is nothing significant that has come into phase 1, at least from a player standpoint. From maybe a tech standpoint, great. But I have no idea what they're testing. I would love for Steven to say, hey, this is why we want to test this density. This is why we're testing this. This is why we haven't adjusted the material rates. I understand that's a bunch of people must have mined copper, but you just doubled the population and it just makes it feel even worse. And the thing is, like, as someone who's running a guild, a lot of the lack of systems, it's just fucking stressful and frustrating, man. The fact that I can't have all my guys in one guild, the fact that there's no guild vault or anything, like I've got to manually track all the donations and shit like that. And it's just a lot of work for what currently feels like not a lot payoff. And that's kind of where I am at the moment. Like, I am still testing. I'm still running my guild. We're still doing that. I'm still having fun with my guild. We're still, you know, there's a lot of great stuff that's coming out of that. But man, like, I'm gonna tell you, if I've had a really long fucking day at work and shit sucked, I don't want to log into Ashes. I'm gonna get in there, be met with toxicity, be met with negativity, and it's not a fun place to escape to right now. Vera is not, I wouldn't say, a fun place. It's a testing ground. That's what it is. In phase 1, it was fun because it was all new, right? You're finally getting in with all your buddies. You're finally getting in with your guild. You're kind of learning and exploring these areas. And now you kind of look at, shit, this is like the 15th character I've had to level up to 25. And you just kind of scratch your head wondering, like, why am I doing this again? Like, what is the data that's being collected? What are the markers they're looking for? Obviously, you don't want to, like, affect player data too much by giving people a reason. Like, hey, we're actually trying to test, you know, we're trying to do less loot drops, but we're trying to give you guys more glint so you have more money so you can kind of try the player trading and things like that a bit more. And like, you can't say that because people will change their play styles, but man, like, oh, something, man. More of like I've said this before, Profane, I don't even know if the game's still being made, but they had a dynamic roadmap where it would show what they were working on and the state of it and how far along it was. I would love something for that, like for Ashes, because I think sometimes the end goal or the finish line can be so far away that we do get really focused on these finite points and like think, wow, this is all the game's ever going to be. I'm only going to be grinding forever. I'm only going to be doing I'm just going to be grinding forever. That's what it comes down to, man. It's so fucking mind numbing to me. I know some people love grinding. I'm not one of those players. I like doing quests. I like following a bit of a storyline. I don't need it to hold my hand. I don't need it to be like super story driven, but fuck, man. Like we say the game is kind of followed by like following ArcheAge. ArcheAge had quests, you know, and it could be they're just not in. But the question that I do want answered is, you know, where are the quests? Why are the quests in the state they are? Why does it feel like we had more quests in Alpha 1 versus now? Like, I just feel like getting some of these answers would be beneficial for the player base. So that way, a lot of people don't lose hope in the game or feel like they're stuck on this treadmill of just, I'm just here to grind and to grind out. Like, once we get, there's no end game loop, right? There's no real end game loop. Vastling's not in. Sieges aren't in. They just took away the Guild War rewards because of them being abused, which I think it maybe was said somewhere, but I never found it, which kind of sucked because we actually did some guild wars and they were legitimate wars. We go and I'm like, where's the reward? Just wasted 20 gold with our guild to have nothing out of it, man. It's just like, it's frustrating. And I don't want to compare games, but after playing Path of Exile 2 and coming back to Ashes, when I had that small window, so the lack of passes and the cookie cutter builds and pretty much every tank being the same tank. Like I've seen people's, build guides and it's just, they're all the same. You take the same things. Everybody takes the same things. There's nothing that really separates things. And I know they're trying with the weapon passives. And again, everything's alpha, right? Everything's alpha. But at what point are these criticisms valid? You know what I mean? That's what makes it difficult. Okay. I can sit here and I can continuously bang my head against a wall doing the most boring gameplay loop possible. If I know like other things are going to be coming, we know they're going to be coming. But like a lot of the stuff that we thought was going to be in phase 2 did not get there. And I think it's kind of sounding like the first major patch isn't coming until the end of January. And I do think that starting the phase on December 20th was a bad move. It just put a lot of players in a really shit position. And although it sounded like, you know, oh, we're going to extend this test and, you know, as basically a Christmas and New Year's present, we're going to allow you guys to get in there and play and have a great time. And it was a fucking mess, dude. Like just the overwhelming levels of toxicity. And this, I guess, is the virus server. I don't even know what Lilith is like. But it's kind of like what happened, right? You either got the option of being on the giant streamers server, or you got the option to play with the exploitative tryhard neckbeards. Like those were your two options, and it sucks. Lack of server options was not good. And I'm not gonna talk shit about Thor. I really don't know anything about the guy. I don't know about how he runs the server. Honestly, it could be a great move. Could be a great move for a lot of people to go test that out. If you are sick of the virus server, go try Lilith. Maybe it's better. It's just me looking to uproot my guild and bring alliances along and stuff. Just didn't sound like the right move to do. And again, this isn't me as a guild leader bitching about competition. Like I said, my guild's holding our own. We ran 20 caravans and got 20 caravans through, despite being attacked by and like it just, we had no problem. And I don't expect us to have a lot of problems. But for a lot of the people that are just moving in, and one of the things I think that Ashes does a terrible job of right now is that the game is so unfriendly to solo players that it never creates a good avenue for them to find a guild or group to play with. It does for some people. Some people will go and they'll join up in a group. One of the things that we saw previously was that the events were supposed to put you in a group. Well, if you're not getting bears dropped on you in Titan's Ring, this feature doesn't work. This feature doesn't do anything. You are not put into a raid group during events, which is also frustrating when, you know, you're a tank and you run up to one, you want to help people and you just die because you're not in a group. You just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like that, how does that help to encourage you to want to join in groups if the systems aren't there? I don't know, guys. I'm just, like I said, I'm still going to keep making content and following the game and things like that. But it is testing, not just testing the game, but testing my patience and you know, oh God. It's only going to get better, right, guys? Right? God. Right? It's even right. For the love of God, there's got to be some new content coming. Please, for the love of God. There was a new dungeon, I guess. Also, new level 25 grind spot. So if you guys like to grind and grind, there's a place for you to do it now. All right, guys, that's the video. I'm not gonna keep shoveling it on, but that's kind of where I see the state of Ashes right now. If you're looking to back the game currently and get in and to jump in and enjoy testing and trying all the new features, they're not there yet. Wait, they're not there yet. Just wait. Hopefully, come January, we start to see a lot more content development over server development, because I think the player base needs it. I need it. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I don't, it's whatever, man. It's whatever. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.